the group arrives at Dragonhead Peak within the Dragon Domain, located near the Life Canyon where Mother resides. Seeing that their destination is close, they decide to skip setting up camp and push forward to finish the journey in one go. As they travel, their guide notices something unsettling. The area is completely empty. Usually, this domain is filled with soaring dragons, where even the weakest are at least level 150. In this land, every region is strictly governed by a different Dragon King. The guide warns that there were once 11 Dragon Kings ruling these lands and cautions the group to never trespass into their forbidden zones. The protagonist is stunned to learn that there are 11 of these high-level rulers in this domain. Thinking about the 11 Dragon Kings who are all far beyond level 150, the protagonist is overwhelmed by the scale of their power. However, he quickly turns to ambition, imagining the incredible strength he would gain if he could actually tame them all. The protagonist and his group finally reach their destination. Their guide officially announces that they have arrived at the threshold of their target location. They stand before the gate of the Life Canyon within the Dragon Domain. The guide explains that Mother resides just beyond this point, while the protagonist is struck by the magnificent scale of the massive stone entrance. Upon landing, they realize the gate is completely and tightly sealed. Seeing no obvious handle or mechanism, the protagonist wonders how they are supposed to find a way inside. The guide steps forward to handle the situation, explaining that its own essence serves as the key. It assures the group that the massive gate will open automatically as soon as it senses its presence. The guide prepares to open the seal but prefaces the action with a warning. It signals that while it can grant them entry, this process comes with a significant and permanent change to their current situation. By utilizing the Star Dragon Essence Core, the guide initiates the opening sequence for the massive gate. However, it informs the protagonist that the cost of this action is high. Once the core is spent, it will no longer be able to communicate with him. The massive stone gate reacts instantly to the surge of essence energy, lighting up with intricate blue patterns across its surface. As the ancient mechanisms activate, the heavily sealed entrance finally begins to groan open, revealing the path forward. With its energy fading and its task complete, the guide delivers its final message. It warns the protagonist that its support has officially ended, and from this point forward, he must face the challenges of the Dragon Domain entirely on his own. Holding the glowing essence core in his hand, the protagonist feels a surge of anticipation. He realizes that after everything they have been through, he is finally standing at the threshold and is about to come face to face with the legendary entity he has been seeking. As the massive stone doors of the canyon fully retreat, the path into the heart of the domain is revealed. The group prepares to encounter the Life Dragon King, standing before the entrance of what should be the ruler's inner sanctum. However, the moment the group looks inside, they are immediately struck with intense shock. The sight beyond the gate is completely unexpected, leaving the protagonist and his two companions frozen as they try to process the scene before them. Staring into the canyon with a look of pure disbelief, the protagonist is overwhelmed by confusion. He finds himself unable to reconcile his expectations with the reality of the situation, wondering how things could have possibly turned out this way. The group enters the Life Canyon within the Dragon Domain, but they are met with a grim sight. Despite its name, the canyon appears completely corroded and withered, showing absolutely no signs of the vitality or energy one would expect to find there. Surrounded by strange purple corruption and a heavy, unsettling fog, the group begins to doubt their location. They question if they have truly reached the right place, noting that the desolate and decaying landscape has nothing to do with life at all. Despite the eerie atmosphere and the bubbling slime nearby, the protagonist decides they cannot turn back. He instructs the rest of the group to stay close and follow him as they begin to venture even deeper into the heart of the canyon to find answers. As they move forward, the environment suddenly turns hostile. Without any warning, large purple appendages lash out from the corruption on the ground, launching a high-speed ambush that catches the protagonist completely off guard. As the purple appendages lash out from the corruption, the protagonist immediately recognizes the danger and commands his group to prepare for an all-out battle. Reacting with incredible speed, he triggers a high-level dual transformation, summoning his dragons into their powerful third forms, the Star Dragon Galaxy and the Emerald Dragon Eternal One. To safeguard the group from the relentless assault of the purple tentacles, the Emerald Dragon activates its signature defensive ability, Eternal Protection. This skill generates a massive green energy barrier that completely shelters everyone beneath it from the environment. With their defense solidified by the barrier, the Star Dragon prepares to launch a devastating counter-offensive. It looks toward the heavens, channeling its cosmic power to manifest a brilliant, concentrated orb of energy high above the battlefield. The Star Dragon finally unleashes Starfall, causing continuous beams of lethal starlight to rain down across the entire battlefield. This relentless bombardment strikes every corrupted target within the area covered by the galaxy form with overwhelming force. Enraged by the persistent ambush, the protagonist focuses his energy as the corrupted purple tentacles close in on his position. Wearing a look of intense concentration and fury, he prepares to unleash a devastating area of effect skill to clear his immediate surroundings. With a powerful roar, he activates his specialized skill, Weaklings, Begone, releasing a massive wave of draconic killing intent that explodes outward in every direction. This lethal surge deals defense, ignoring AO damage to all nearby enemies while simultaneously knocking them back with overwhelming force. The impact of the shockwave is instantaneous and catastrophic for the attackers. The once threatening purple appendages are completely shattered by the raw pressure of the draconic intent, breaking apart into countless glowing fragments. As the violent energy dissipates and the dust begins to settle, the protagonist remains in a combat-ready stance, keeping a watchful eye on the terrain. His two companions hover nearby, stunned by the sudden silence of the battlefield after such an explosive display of power. To the protagonist's utter disbelief, he notices that the shattered remains of the corruption are still pulsing with life on the canyon floor. Despite the overwhelming force of his previous draconic attack, the entities show no signs of dying. Attempting to gain some tactical advantage, he activates his appraisal eye to identify the enemy. But the system returns nothing but question marks. As the purple masses continue to reform and surround the group, the realization sets in that these enemies are essentially unkillable. The protagonist understands that they are trapped in a war of attrition they cannot win. Just as the group prepares to make a move, the situation takes a sudden and violent turn. A colossal pillar of dark purple energy erupts directly in front of the protagonist with a deafening roar. As a massive red limb swings toward them with crushing force, the protagonist shouts a frantic warning to his group to dodge the incoming strike. The sheer scale and speed of the attack confirm that staying in one place to fight is becoming increasingly dangerous for the entire team. The group barely manages to leap into the air as a swirling vortex of purple corruption erupts from the ground directly beneath them. It is clear that the environment itself has turned lethal, with the canyon floor attempting to trap and consume them with every step they take. Realizing that engaging with these regenerative enemies is a waste of time and energy, the protagonist orders his team to stop the meaningless fighting. He commands everyone to ignore the monsters and push deeper into the heart of the canyon, hoping to find a way out of the ambush. As they fly through the decaying landscape, the protagonist is troubled by the absolute devastation surrounding them. He observes that even the Life Dragon King's personal domain has been completely overrun by rot, leading him to a dark realization: the legendary ruler might already be dead. As a low growl echoes through the air, the green-haired companion turns to Xiaofei in alarm. Sensing a shift in the atmosphere, she asks what is wrong as the group realizes a new threat is manifesting nearby. A massive surge of purple energy erupts as the corrupted entities begin to cluster together into a single, overwhelming force. The group notes with concern that these monsters are forming a mass and gaining speed, rapidly closing the distance between them. Sensing the imminent danger, the leader shouts for the team to pick up their pace and move as fast as possible. He urges everyone to try and shake off the persistent pursuers who are now hot on their heels. Seeing that the enemies are only getting faster and that they have run out of room to escape, the protagonist realizes they have no choice but to fight. He prepares for a direct confrontation by switching his dragon-taming aura to the powerful Dark Blade mode. To overcome the closing gap, the protagonist activates a new powerful ability, the Shadow Dragon King Bloodline. This transformation grants the entire group a massive 300% speed boost and the Shadow Stealth aura. Additionally, the system notifies him that all his attacks will now ignore 55% of any target's defense, giving him a significant offensive edge. He immediately utilizes Shadow Stealth to evade their pursuers. This specialized ability allows the group to enter or exit a hidden state at will. Most importantly, the stealth effect is absolute. It cannot be broken by enemy detection skills or even by taking direct damage, making them virtually impossible to track or stop. As they accelerate through the canyon in their cloaked state, the protagonist begins to feel a sense of relief. He notes the incredible speed they've gained and thinks to himself that this sudden burst of maneuverability should be more than enough to finally shake off the unknown corruption for good. However, the group's confidence is instantly shattered by a sudden, violent upheaval. Despite their stealth and speed, massive purple corruption tendrils erupt from the ground ahead of them with a thunderous roar. The persistent threat has caught up once again, leaving the group shocked as they realize they are still being hunted. The protagonist is visibly frustrated as he realizes that even at triple speed, the corrupted entities are easily keeping pace with them. It seems no matter how much they accelerate using their new abilities, the pursuers refuse to fall behind. He is forced to confront the grim reality that these monsters cannot be killed or permanently stopped by conventional means. Feeling cornered by their persistence, he begins to despair, wondering if there is truly no way to escape this relentless chase. Just as he begins to lose hope of a clean escape, something ahead catches his attention and breaks his train of thought. He is pulled out of his internal struggle by a sudden and intense shift in the environment directly in their flight path.